Yeah, boss man. How the crabs going?
130 a dozen.
What? You ain't serious? I ain't hearing right. Where's it?
$130 for 1 dozen.
But look how them they, them so small. Have you ever wondered why crabs are getting smaller and smaller at markets in Tobago? What about your chances of seeing a crab in places where you usually see them? Are they easily seen still? Who's to blame if our children and grandchildren never get the opportunity to see, taste or enjoy crabs like we have? Crab contributes to Tobago's economy and social well-being. What can be done to preserve them? Cardisoma guanhumi, or the giant blue land crab, is a large boring crab whose distribution on land is generally limited to within 5 kilometers of the ocean. Large individuals may grow to over 11 centimeters and weigh over 500 grams. These crabs have stalked eyes that are fairly widespread, and males have one enlarged caliped, or what Tobago locals call gundi. Adults of both sexes have carapaces, that is, the crab back as we Tobagonians call it, that range in color from dark blue to various shades of brown to grey or white. Juveniles generally have brown carapaces and orange-colored legs. C. guanhumi is a decapod which is characterized by its 5 pairs of limbs and its ability to live in water. Blue land crabs prefer to live in tropical conditions that are located on the Earth's western hemisphere. They are found throughout estuarine regions of the Caribbean, Colombia, Venezuela, and Mexico in Central and South America, and other countries like the Bahamas and Puerto Rico. Located within the described area, Tobago's greatest concentration of giant blue crab populations are found in close proximity to the shorelines within low-lying grounds. Ian Lambie, an environmentalist from Trinidad and Tobago, in a Trinidad and Tobago Newsday article titled "Lobsters, Callaloo Crabs Under Threat," has expressed concerns over the increasing demand for blue land crabs. He referred to C. guanhumi as callaloo crabs since they are a favored ingredient in callaloo, a local dish. In Tobago, wetlands along the island's coast provide food and shelter for blue land crabs, which is evident by the extent of burrows usually seen in these areas. However, Trinidad and Tobago's 4th National Report to the Convention on Biological Diversity reports that wetlands in Tobago have undergone significant changes due to human activity. Therefore, the increasing transformation of coastal zones for roads, buildings, and agriculture are notable threats to the maintenance of adequate space for crabs to exist. Cardisoma guanhumi is not classified as being endangered, but the concerns over its harvesting are relevant, especially since its natural habitat space is diminishing in order to facilitate physical development. Countries like Puerto Rico, Brazil, and Florida have experienced similar threats to their crab populations and have in some cases enacted strict regulations to combat overharvesting. No specific ecological management plan is in place in Tobago to ensure that blue land crabs are sustainably harvested. Plus, crab habitats are being destroyed and no conclusive research has been conducted to inform mitigation options towards sustaining crab populations in Tobago. For many years, Tobago blue land crabs have occupied low-lying areas within close proximity to the ocean. They have coexisted in the Tobagonian society in a positive way over these years, contributing to food security, economic productivity, and social enjoyment. However, in recent times, due to constant pressure from overharvesting and habitat destruction, the health and longevity of crab populations on the island is now a concern. The high demands for blue crabs in Tobago for food underpins the overexploitation of both juvenile and mature crabs. Juveniles are prevented from meeting their reproductive age, and adults face challenges to reproduce. Both circumstances contribute to the decreasing apparent reproductive rate of crab populations on the island. Construction projects along the coast have destroyed crab burrows and reduced habitat space. By transforming land, barriers that prevent reproductive migrations are created, adding further to the already depleting reproductive rate, since blue land crabs must have access to salt water to complete reproduction. While it is true that physical development, agriculture, and tourism has a negative effect on crab habitats, interventions that can be implemented to address these concerns would be raised at another time. For now, focus should be placed on the manner in which sea guanhumi is harvested in Tobago. Land crabs are exploited mainly for food in Tobago. As is the trend in other countries, cursory observations of crab size and availability, whether at the market or on a plate, coupled with anecdotal information, suggests that population levels are declining on the island. Hostetler et al. Informed that blue land crab is exploited as a food source throughout the Bahamas and the Caribbean, and in these areas, populations have been reported to be declining. As a result of diminishing populations, Puerto Rico have established a minimum size limit and prohibiting harvesting blue land crabs between the months of July and October. Also, state forests and reserves in Puerto Rico are off limits to crab harvesting. The Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission in Florida has received anecdotal reports that in certain areas of South and Central Florida, harvesting effort has increased. Apparently, one person can catch hundreds of crabs per night, and harvesting effort increases as migration periods approach. There are also reports that land crabs are being harvested in commercial quantities, 300 to 400 per day. Florida has also reacted to such concerns. The Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission has passed a rule to limit the take of blue land crabs. Via this rule, they have implemented a statewide open and closed season for harvesting sea guanhumi. Open season from November 1st to June 30th, outside of which no person is allowed to harvest the crab. They have also implemented a bag limit of 20 crabs per day, and no one is allowed to possess more than 20 crabs at any time. Other countries such as Brazil and Mexico have enacted rules to preserve the crabs. Some have positive results and others did not change the situation, but they tried, and that is important. As such, I humbly suggest that research be conducted on the population dynamics of our blue land crab in Tobago and seek to implement similar rules that are tailored for our situation in an effort to save our heritage.